read it.
Where's your proof that $150 million was offered from Bibi Netanyahu?
No, I'm referring.
Where is the proof?
Please do not get angry.
No, because I didn't want to cover this, and you guys insisted. And I told you, you cover this shit, I'm gonna rip you apart.
When Charlie first got shot, there was no connection whatsoever in my mind about that a foreign government, our biggest ally, whom Charlie has spent the majority of his life advocating for. There's 100 hours of sure Zionist content from Charlie Kirk that can never be deleted from the internet, that they will somehow find a way to get to America and coordinate an effort outside of our intelligence agencies to somehow kill Charlie Kirk. So Jillian Michaels, probably with the same, frustration that I feel when it comes to this Jew thing, because everybody just bring the Jews up every time. Not everybody, but the people who are nutty just bring the Jews up every time. So I guess this is a theology, or this is on the show, or Jillian Michaels is on the show with a few other women, which you can't find a female show that don't get crazy. Women are too emotional to be doing some of this stuff. They really should be at home with their families and be at home being a wife and a woman who shouldn't even be doing this stuff. Because what happens? They get emotional, they start catfighting. You see it on The View, you see it on Real Housewives, and that stuff could be staged on Real Housewives. And you finna see it in a minute. All that estrogen and that cat, it's finna get ugly. All right? And let me put this in perspective. So on the show, this conversation that Benjamin Netanyahu offered Charlie Kirk $150 million is still going on with no evidence. And allegedly, according to this tweet, that the rumor, it says, let me read it for you. It says a journalist behind the report accusing Benjamin Netanyahu of offering $150 million to Charlie Kirk is Max Blumenthal, a man who used to work for the Iran-backed newspaper Al Akhbar in Beirut and contribute to the Al Jazeera. Why is it that every time that we track down a lie, we end up finding people connected to Qatar or Iran behind it? Roll the clip.
How does that debunk the fact that...
he just read it. Where's your proof that $150 million was offered from Bibi Netanyahu?
No, I'm referring...
Where is the proof?
Please do not get angry.
No, because I didn't want to cover this, and you guys insisted. And I told you, you cover this, I'm going to rip you apart. Where is the proof?
We're not
that
saying that it
Netanyahu
We're really
offered
not
Charlie
saying that
$150 million.
Jillian,
so we're not. So
what we're reporting on is
now
people in the marketplace, what they're saying. This is a discussion that's happening literally everywhere. We would be remiss if we didn't cover it to debunk it.
This conversation.
It's still,
over a week.
It's still
that
pretty prevalent.
Is a week old.
It's still going on, Jillian.
Okay, well, nevertheless, where is the proof that actually happened?
I just said, according to this guy's reporting, he was offered $150 million.
Okay,
that was
also corroborated by Candace.
It was corroborated by Candace, and not only that, by Nick.
And also
because listen, I like Candace. She has... People from his own team have said he has not seen her in years.
And yet last year they were on tour together. Last year they were on tour together.
If you want to talk about people on his team,
time they've been on camera together was 2023.
No, it was last year. They have a tour together.
Okay, everybody on his team. Let's just calm down for a second. Has subsequently said this is not true.
No, they never.
Colvin, Eric Bolling, all of them are like, yeah.
Okay, Eric Bolling thought that he had 2 daughters. Okay, so I'm not going to...
Okay, Andrew Colvin? The narrative is not true. Charlie has a cordial relationship with Ackman. There's no black woman, no intervention. Nothing like what Candace is suggesting.
That same Andrew said that Candace and Charlie remain friends. I just want to make sure.
He's saying this is not true.
But they were literally touring together last year.
Nothing like what Candace is suggesting. What does it have to do with their friendship?
What does it have to do with...
What does it have to do with their friendship? He's saying what Candace is suggesting...
I can't engage with you if you don't
He is saying what Candace is suggesting is not true.
He's talking about her suggesting that Israel killed him. We're talking about 100. Please do not conflate the two.
Okay, well, unilaterally across the board now, we've got multiple accusations that all pile up to the same exact...
No, I think it's the furries. It's the furries.
No.
I think it's the furries.
I can't stand the accent. Oh my God, I cannot stand it. No, it's no. It's not no. I hate it, man. Some people probably, I can't listen to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of support, my buddy Charlie, we made some shirts. 100% of the profit goes to the Kirk family. We're going to make sure we get it to Erica. There's no contesting that. We know them. That's our people. We got it. So you can reassure that when you purchase a product that's in the line of Charlie, it'll go directly to the family. So get you some merch, the I Am Charlie, and also the Charlie one that says We Are Charlie, and then the Freedom shirt are all available right now. Go and get it. Show your support to the Kirk family. And let me tell you just real quick why I started it is because I wanted to wear the shirt. I wanted to show support for Charlie. And I figured if other people want the same, you can do that. If you don't want any apparel, we also have a support link for you to donate. If you want to just donate money to the family, 100% of the proceeds go directly to the family. So we'll put that link in the description section as well. Show your support to the family. We love them. His legacy goes on. God bless you and thank you. Oh, nerve. Like what? Like how do you fix your mouth to go nerve? Oh, nerve. It's like no. N-O. No. How you get nerve? Gosh, please, I don't want to hear her talk. I don't know her. I probably follow on social media. She's probably good. But that nerve will make me have a stroke. Roll the clip.
Don't know, and I don't look.
There's
for those who are
zero
saying
evidence to suggest none.
Okay, you're saying
guys, can we just stop for a second? This is ridiculous.
This is absurd.
Like this whole thing is ridiculous. There are two things being conflated right now. There are conspiracy theorists who think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. They have yet to provide a shred of evidence proving that. Done. End of story.
We're not talking about that.
I am talking about something entirely
you were talking
different.
about that.
No, we're not. Hold on.
Oh, you
Let
were
me
talking.
finish thought. Okay, the real issue here is that before most people even knew that Charlie Kirk was dead, you have Netanyahu giving multiple interviews talking about how, using the moment for his own political purposes.
Using the moment for his own political purposes.
Fool that he is. Let me finish my point.
Him killing Charlie Kirk.
Did I not just
said that.
I literally
so
just
now we're just gonna make
let
a
me finish
sidebar
my point, Jillian, because none of us can finish the damn point without someone else jumping down your throat. I don't think that Israel killed him because there's no evidence of that. But I had a problem with Netanyahu exploiting an assassination in this country for his own political means and purposes and lying about the nature of his relationship with Charlie Kirk. Because Charlie Kirk didn't like Netanyahu, just like any warm-blooded American shouldn't. Netanyahu is a bad guy. And he wanted to make it seem like, no, we were all great. We were good. We had a great relationship. Little did we know behind the scenes, there was a lot of pressure toward
ends up
Netanyahu.
being about how do we bash Israel. This is not for me. I am not interested in this.
Okay,
I love
I
you
know.
guys. I'm sorry.
Let's be good. Let's be good about precious Israel. Let the country commit a genocide. Yeah.
Country committing a genocide.
I think you guys agree. I fundamentally disagree with you about like every show doing this.
Cool.
So can we continue the conversation?
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Wow. Okay, guys. So again, to clarify,
I can't do it. Get off the camera. Get off the camera. Okay, guys, sir. I don't know how nobody watched this, but let me get to the point. You know, the gaslighting that's going on around Israel, like for instance, no other nation is connected at all to any conspiracy about Charlie's death. Why? Why is it only the Jews? This is called anti-Semitism. Now, not every criticism of the Jews is anti-Semitic. And I think Jewish people and others who advocate need to stop making everything about that because y'all losing support when you bash and people call them anti-Semites for just little stuff that they do. But this is anti-Semitic. This is the bad mind worm that people got in their brain that everything leads to Jews. When Charlie first got shot, there was no connection whatsoever in my mind about that a foreign government, our biggest ally, whom Charlie has spent the majority of his life advocating for. There's 100 hours of sure Zionist content from Charlie Kirk that can never be deleted from the internet, that they will somehow find a way to get to America and coordinate an effort outside of our intelligence agencies to somehow kill Charlie Kirk. And then they didn't kill any of these other anti-Semites that's out there, but the Charlie Kirk that secretly was turning on Israel, secretly, because not publicly, he wasn't really saying nothing different than what a lot of people believe, and that's questioning certain things that they find reprehensible. But she get on there and they go, this $150 million. Well, let's put that to bed real quick. Well, in my next clip, I'm going to put it to bed because Andrew Kovic, which was probably Charlie's number one guy, one of the closest people, executive producer. I know Andrew and I know them. He used to be Charlie Kirk's like a manager. And so they've been like this for a long time. And Andrew came out on Clark's podcast and debunked all of this stuff. Charlie Kirk didn't get paid or offered $150 million. If he did, I'm sure Andrew would have known about it. And I'm sure if Andrew knew, Erica knew. And if Erica knew, Andrew probably knew. He would have told somebody that he got offered $150 million. His closest people would have known. Nobody is saying that even exists. Somebody made that up because they got to connect the Jews to something. And then you cannot gaslight us into saying you add Jews to everything, but I'm not saying that they did it. Then why are you bringing them up? Why are you bringing up Jews if you don't think they had nothing to do with this? That to me tells me how anti-Semitic you are. Charlie's over here dead. You got a killer on the loose, and y'all over here talking about the Jews. But you saying, I don't believe Jews had nothing to do with it. But why are you over here talking about that when we should be focused on this? Because you want it to be about the Jews. You want them to kill Charlie. So you can say, see, just like that ignorant woman, Anna Conspiracy. If I ever debated her, she would cry in the debate. I will just dog her in the debate. I will not give up. I will be relentless. She's such a fool. And they committed genocide. Oh, so to Israel, they committed genocide. You stupid enough to say, I don't believe they killed Charlie because there's no evidence. But you believe there's a genocide with no evidence. All right. Let Andrew, who was Charlie's closest friend, closer than any of us, I would say most people, other than his wife. I would think that Andrew may be even closer than his wife because he knew her. He knew Charlie before he had a wife. Nick said it was his work wife. Too soon? All right, roll the clip.
Couple things that it's worth clarifying. You know, and you asked me this earlier, so let me make sure I'd say it. Charlie's position on Israel was very clear. I like them more than I like Hamas. I just wish I was free to criticize Israel and not be labeled an anti-Semite, because I can criticize my own government and not be called anti-American.
Right.
But why do I have more freedom to do, that and not criticize, a foreign government? And he was really upset that there was this sort of clampdown on the freedom of expression, the freedom of ideas, free speech when it came to a foreign government. And I will say this, he felt like he had earned the right as a friend of the Jewish people over the years and all of the things that he had done. He felt like his bona fides in that respect were unassailable and that he should have the freedom to say, hey, it's time to end the war. Hey, it's time to stop.
Okay, let me just speak to this real quick because I want to put this in perspective because there's more that he's going to talk about. This is where youth come into play. And Charlie needed a true mentor. And I'm not saying nothing about the people that mentored him. I think he needed a mentor in this area because Charlie was doing the right thing. Charlie was acting in good faith, but the pressure of people who are stupid begin to get to him. If you're criticizing Israel and people are going crazy on you, some of them are stupid, and wisdom tells you that some of them need a better perspective. Let me give you an example. The reason why you can criticize America and not be anti-America is because the other side hate America. So our criticisms of America is in love. It's not in hate. And it's clear. The reason why we call Ilhan Omar anti-American because they criticize America is because they're not criticizing America. They hate America and they want America to be destroyed. So technically, if Charlie thought it through in this perspective, is that you will be called anti-American if you criticize America, if you're criticizing America in poor faith. But because we're not criticizing America in poor faith, we're not called haters of America. Now, when it comes to Israel, understanding the contextual reality, they don't make it right, but understanding why some people are offended is because there's a reality that occurred in the only Jewish state that existed that makes people feel afraid of completely losing it again like they did in the Holocaust. Because a little bit of, are they interested in this? Oh, now they run the government. Oh, now they do this. Cause people to become extinct. And I think people are hyper vigilant. I don't think it's right necessarily, but I think they become hyper vigilant. So when I say something, which it hasn't happened to me, but it probably will at some point, when I say something and Jewish people attack me, I understand that some of them are stupid. And then some of them are acting out of fear because of what has happened historically to Jewish people. So I will identify the stew heads and say, I don't care what they say about me, they can go screw themselves. But then the ones who are considered my friends that are concerned, I will have a conversation with them to put it in perspective on what I'm saying, what I'm trying to deliver, and how do you want to do this together, right? If you're saying that my message is not right, how would you like for me to convey this message? And good, honest people who are Jewish, who are hypersensitive, I think will come to a conclusion of understanding where you come from. But when you're young, you're 31 years old, and you have been loved and liked, and people have literally kissed every ground that you walked on in the conservative space your whole 31 years, or at least the years that you've been at Turning Point, it's not easy to hear people starting to turn on you. And somebody should, in my opinion, I would have liked for somebody to be there for Charlie. I wish he would have reached out to me so I can give him some confidence and perspective and say, bro, look, you good, bro. These people will come and go. This is why these people are hypersensitive and these people are stupid. So let's differentiate between the stupid ones and the hypersensitive ones. And then at the end of the day, God got your back anyway. So if the hypersensitive ones want to not be around you, go tell them to F themselves. And it's the people, the kids that are in Turning Point USA, that want to turn on you because they disagree with what you're saying about Israel, they can screw themselves. Now, it's okay to disagree, but when they say, I'm going to turn on you, I don't want nothing to do with Turning Point USA, because they don't like what you said, you can't do nothing, Charlie. Don't worry about them, man. They bandwagon people. Give the next controversy, they're going to be on your side again. When they go out to campus and they don't have nobody that love them, nobody that care about them, nobody that protect them, nobody that's letting them have a voice, then they're going to come back to Turning Point. Oh, can I do this? So just chill, bro. Don't let it get to you. But nobody was there, I don't think, that could convince Charlie of that, what I'm saying. I wish he had called me. Would that change his life? No, because God already had a plan for him. But I did wish he would have called me, and I could have gave him some real perspective on this. Roll the clip.
The killing. But, with Tucker, for example, yeah, I mean, we took some pushback. We lost some donors. And what's interesting is it wasn't necessarily Jewish donors, although there was, because that's a misconception about Turning Point's funding base, by the way, is, it's not a whole lot of Jewish donors. It's just not. There was always, I saw the comments online like, oh, the Jewish shekels or something like, I mean, it's all this gross stuff. It just wasn't true. And it isn't true. But we did lose, one in particular towards the end that was frustrating. There's this great clip when we were in Myrtle Beach and he got asked if, from somebody in the audience, if he was going to, debate Candace or, disavow Tucker. And Charlie's answer I thought was amazing. I remember he came off stage. He's like, "Do you like that one?" And I was like,
he would always ask that for reassurance.
Yeah. He always loved like, "Did you see that? Did you listen?
Yeah. Do I look good? Was that a good clip? Do you think that'll go viral?"
Yeah. And I remember saying like, "Yeah, I thought it was amazing. It was morally so crystal clear." And he basically said, "I don't appreciate being morally blackmailed." And and every time people would say that to him, he would dig his heels in. It's like, well, maybe Tucker's going to give 2 speeches now at AmFest.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll invite so-and-so.
That was one thing, like Charlie and I relate to him so much, is that him and I both do that, where we don't like being told what to do.
Oh, I've noticed that before, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Andrew, I'm like, oh, there's so many things that we could talk about. How many times that Andrew and Charlie have had to put out fires for me that I've started. But like, yeah, when I'm told I can't do something, it's like, well, I'm going to do it even harder then. That's just my personality. Mm-hmm. Charlie is very much the same way.
I think that's the key. It's like Charlie was a friend of the Jewish people and a friend of Israel. Did he have opinions about the prosecution of the war, he thought their PR was abysmal, thought they were doing more harm than good in many ways for their own cause. So all of those things were true. And he was upset that he couldn't express those things freely without all of this pressure coming down on the organization. He has a lot of great Jewish friends and, and some people that maybe some not so good ones. Right. But I think it's just a nuanced thing.
Was Charlie offered $150 million from Israel?
As far as I know, no.
I had never heard anything like that. Everyone I've asked has said the same thing.
And by the way, just for what it's worth, it doesn't matter the amount that would have been coming down. We would have said no.
And there's evidence that is true.
Turning Point does not, Charlie would not accept foreign money.
Exactly.
We only took American money.
Yeah.
There was money sent to us, like practically in multiple instances where they're trying to cram it down our bank account. And we said no. We canceled like money wires and things.
No foreign money, and also no handouts from the government. During the pandemic, 100%. He refused to do mass layoffs that everybody else in the country was doing. Said no to the whatever that check was. What was that they were handing out? Stimulus check.
Yeah. The PPE loans, right? I always get PPP and PPE mixed up, but
yeah. But it was a good amount of money that at the time we could have used.
Yeah.
He put out a company statement saying, this was tempting for sure, but we're going to say no.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very principled in that way.
He was extremely principled, especially on foreign money. I remember moments we'd be at like an event, and some foreign people would come up and like demand a meeting or try and get a meeting with Charlie, and Charlie would look at me and go, deal with them, get rid of them. Like,
it's exactly the way Charlie sounds. So I know that's exactly what he said. But people are saying, you can't trust Andrew. He's now a part of the deep state or something stupid. I think that, personally, I just think that I wish that Charlie could have had some more people around him that could have helped him through this situation, because I know how I feel to want to double down when people say crazy stuff about you. And is it always the right thing to do? I don't know. Maybe not. But I knew he could have gotten past. If I would have sat down and talked to Charlie, I knew he had gotten past this moment of feeling frustrated, because that pressure is crazy. When I interviewed Benjamin Netanyahu, I was the first time in my career that I felt like, man, I'm so sick of this stuff. I don't even want to be a part. People are so stupid. What am I even doing here? I'm gonna go off and be a businessman and make $1 billion, and y'all never hear from me again. That's how a part of me felt with the crazy amount of backlash I got just for interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu. The crazy amount of backlash that I get just for saying I support Israel, when every major Christian that I respect supports Israel. Every pastor that I respect supports Israel. What are we even talking about? So I know the feeling, and his was doubly because he's now beholden to people because they're donating money. And you got to put things in perspective. Like, for instance, if I were going to do an event and I had a nonprofit and people that love Israel and they love the fact that I'm a Zionist and they feel like we're aligned with mission, and they go give me $1 million or so, and they committed to giving me $10 million over the next 10 years. And then I go get somebody who's an anti-Semite because of my friendship with them. I go give them a platform, and then they go and trash Jewish people and be anti-Zionist to the next generation of young people. Maybe, just maybe, I can expect that they not gonna like that. Now I got to make a decision to say, I can't really fool with you because you messing with the mission. I still like you as a friend, but if you messing with the mission and you're messing with the money, you got your own platform. Not unless I want to lose these donors. And if I do want to lose them, then so what? I'm losing them. Here, come on the stage. Hey, raise your hand if you want to leave the organization because you don't like what I say. Okay, get them and get them and get them and get out of here. You got to make your decision on which one you do. I don't take money from nobody. Nobody's giving me anything. I'm self-made. There are no donors. I got $100 million budget going on over here. We grinding over here. And nothing against anybody else, but we trying to do it on our own. But if somebody were to give me money, if Benjamin Netanyahu called me on the phone, Brandon, I want to give you $150 million to help you build an organization. Come on. Is it legal? Send that check over here. But I'm going to accept it, but I'm not beholden to nothing. So you make sure when you send me that check, we're going to write a contract to say, but I will do this and this and this. If you do cut up, I'm going to criticize you. Do you still want to give me that money? No, you don't want to get the money? Well, thank you. I don't want to take your money. Somebody come to me and say, Brandon, I want you to build a coalition of young Zionists or something. They want to help fund it. I love that idea. Send me that money. But just know, in the clause, if you send me the money, I still got to be Tatum. Because if you don't let me be Tatum, this ain't gonna work. And that, to me, that's the reality of how these things go on. And so I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not shocked whatsoever that donors wanted to abandon Turning Point because of that lunatic Tucker Carlson. Like, I was mad that Tucker was speaking because I didn't know Tucker was that crazy, right? So I'm like, he said he got questions about Israel. I never thought twice about it. Like, yeah, we live in America, bro. Everybody don't have to agree. I don't agree with everything Charlie said, and Charlie probably didn't agree with everything I said. Nobody got to agree on everything. Who cares, man? We all doing it for the movement, right? In different angles. But then I heard his speech, because I didn't even talk about Israel in my speech. I was, but then like God sent me another way and I didn't mention it. Then I went back and listened to Tucker's speech at AmFest. I said, whoa. I mean, SAS. I said, whoa. He couldn't get more anti-Semitic than anybody else. What he's saying is dangerous to young people. He's creating this false doubt in these young people's mind like a lunatic. Then I wasn't going to say nothing because I'm like, hey, man, he doing more good than bad to me. It's a little part of most of his speech was anti-Semitic. And then he goes on to interview that nun. And then that next thing you know, he's talking about he could give condolences to Osama bin Laden's family. And he don't know whether Hamas is a terrorist group. That fool done said a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, okay, if I was a donor, I would say, if I'm giving you millions of dollars, I don't want that guy on the stage. You can have him on a debate, but he is standing before these young people and infusing poison in their minds because he's a nut and he got an out against Israel somehow. I would be the same way. Like, I'm not getting, look, bro, I love you. I appreciate you, but this guy's going in the wrong direction. And that's not the direction I want to go in. There's a lot of other people that would love to fund the direction that y'all going in. I'm not participating. I mean, would I really take the money for that one person? I don't know. I really don't know. I would have to look at the totality of circumstances, but I would be upset about it. I was upset about it. When I saw him speaking at the funeral, the memorial service, I was like, but it was Charlie's friend. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's his boy. That ain't mine. That's Charlie's memorial. That ain't mine. So I ain't the one that got nothing to say about it. I don't know the guy. I wasn't his friend. I don't know if they ride or die or not. But I definitely was taken aback like, ugh, they got him speaking that Charlie thing? Ugh. After what he did to Ted Cruz, and then he wouldn't give any biblical references with that nun that he was talking to, but he shamed Ted Cruz like that? Ugh. But anyway, Nick over there panicking. All right, I think I'm done. I've said enough. I love you guys. I got to go smoke a cigar and relax for a minute. Y'all be good. We still doing it's on pre-order. We're still, if you want to get a shirt to support Charlie's family, 100% of the profit goes to his family. We raised a pretty good amount of money so far. I mean, right now we could probably give Erica a $500,000 check at this point. And my goal was to give her $1 million at America Fest and let her decide what she want to do with it. And that was collectively all of the people that follow me wanted to do that to support their family. I made the promise to God. God put it on my heart. I'm going to deliver on that promise to give whatever we raise. And then that's it. All right. I love you guys.